Hi, in this set of critiques, I'm going to talk about the work of Amy, Valerie, and Stephen.
Good work, Amy. You have three really nicely rendered solutions here. The first two I find quite creative too for what is basically a cardboard boxes made interesting. And I think you've done that through, particularly through the backboard on the first two. You've taken iconographic shapes associated with the product and made them into the backboard, particularly the Sharpies. I should say for the first and third. I'm not exactly sure how the third one works though. It looks like an empty tray, and I don't know if that just gets filled up with Tootsie Pops, or if there'll be a tray in there with holes in it that'll have the Tootsie Pops standing up straight. So a little more information, maybe the product placed into that solution would be helpful. I do quite like the second one, the one with the Tootsie Pops on it, and I like it because you have some of the product breaking through the defined edges. On the backboard, you have that happening towards the top, and then on the front and side panels, you also have that happening. And I really like that. Excuse me. Excuse me. That not all of them are doing it, so that really creates a sense of depth. Fantastic. You say that you haven't put the logos on some of them, probably the last two yet. I think that that's going to be really important, the way that you integrate the logos into the other graphics. There's a site that I have posted called Brands of the World that you should be able to find both the Sharpie vector images for both the Sharpie logo and the Tootsie Pop one. So all in all, good work. I think you have really solid stuff to choose from here, and just very, very small revisions to make before you can get started on these. So well done. Fantastic work here, Valerie. I think you've got the purpose and an approach down for these presentation drawings. It's really makes for a pleasant presentation. You have multiple views, you have notes, you have a nice combination of high-tech and low-tech approaches that work really well. I'm really pleased with what I'm saying here. It's very appealing. Out of the ones that you have here, I think the gravity-fed M&M one probably works the best, and that is simply because there is less between the customer and between the display and the customer. And one theory of marketing is that the product should be made as direct to the customer as possible, and with the gravity-fed effect of the M&M displays, with them just pouring out into this tray, I think that makes it really appealing. If you have to do something like open a door or lift up a lid or pull out a drawer, those, although quite inventive and quite creative, make it so that the customer is somewhat less likely to take that action. It actually requires additional action on the customer, and although it seems quite petty, it's been shown to make a difference. I was listening to a program about Walmart and how they're trying to save energy by putting doors on their freezer cases, on their and refrigerators, and it saves them a ton of money in energy, but it also loses them money because one, people's resistance to actually open the door. Two, if somebody is standing in front of a door, it makes it hard to open it for somebody else. And another problem is that once the door is open, it tends to block a big proportion of the aisle. And the same kind of thing happens in smaller versions with the drawers and lids and tops and those kinds of things. So keep that in mind. But as I said, I'm really happy with your progress here. Hi, Steve. I think you are off to a fine start here, but there is more and more information that I need. One, I don't know what the product is. I know what the brand is. It's Apple, but I don't know if you're selling iPods or computers, accessories, or anything else that Apple makes. So if you could please identify what it is exactly that you're selling here. I also don't know how the Autism Society is tied into the display, and how the customer knows that part of their purchase price, or if they make a donation, it's going to the Autism Society. So that needs to be thoroughly and clearly communicated on your display for it to be successful. Finally, I'm not sure about the way the parts of your drawings or displays relate to each other. That you have a purple one and a tan one that seem to have wings and sides and a tray, but I don't know if they connect together or if it actually sits that way. How the product, whatever the product might be, goes into the display itself. So I'm fine with the ideas in general. I just need you to get more specific in the product, in the way the charity relates to the display and how the display functions, okay?